What's good, everybody? Queen Common Sense coming back to you from the Chi Town remix to the Mofo Sticks. I was just thinking, mulling over some things. Y'all know how I do. And I've been really into this Love and Marriage Huntsville saga since it started. And for some reason, many reasons, Tisha Scott and her husband, Marho, truly get under my skin. From the inception of this show, I really did not like either one of them. And I'm real big on goofy, dizzy, purposefully dingbat ish esque type women. Especially those who like to wave around the fact that they're so educated. And I know book smarts doesn't translate over into common sense or street savvy, street smarts, or wittiness all the time. I get that. Uh, but for whatever reason, Tisha really bothers me because of many different reasons. Number one, she gives me that single white female type of vibe concerning Melody because, in my opinion, she been biting off Melody ever since first season one when Mel got her out and about and helping her segue back into the workforce from a stay at home mom. And we all know Mr. Misogyny, he did not like that. And it's very relatable because I have unfortunately encountered a lot of people a lot like Marho, both male and female. uh, I had the unfortunate experience to encounter people in my own family who acted a lot like Marho, Mr. Misogyny, and just really truly was was utterly bothered by the fact that I wanted to just grow and learn as much as I could and experience as much as I could in life, especially in my younger years, mid to late 20s. Um, and view the world through my children's eyes, most importantly, like traveling, experiencing different things, different venue, unorthodox, things that normally what they say black folks don't do back then. Now it's totally different. The culture and standard of cultural differences in society, interactions, and different experiences is totally different now. Thank God people have evolved beyond that ignorant ish that these are things white people do and these are activities black people do. Thank God for that. We have some evolution there. But Tisha, um, she seems to be on the delayed side of things when it comes to uh, originality, ingenuity, innovativeness, right? Um, and I pulled up a couple of throwback clips from when Mel and her baby mama, as here for hot tea would say, uh, her ex were pregnant with their fourth child, Sugar Mama. And, things were strained, very, very strained and tumultuous at that time, right before Sugar Mama's conception and throughout the pregnancy and the birth. The marriage was in a very, very dark place. And Mel was still teetering on the fence if she wanted to stay in the marriage or bounce. And it's totally understandable because, again, relate to that, quite deeply relate to how that feels, having to really, uh, struggle with a tug of war within yourself to try to work on saving your family and your marriage, or just throwing up the deuces and let the chips fall where they may. Now, the reason why I'm getting ready to go in on Tisha is because at this big age of 40s and 50s and things like that, we should have pretty much our own core identity, right? We should know kind of who we are, what we stand for, our principles, morals, values, where those boundaries are, whether it be in our personal relationships, business, or otherwise. And Tisha just is a biter, you know. She's a biter. She's fugaga, in my opinion. Um, the first clip I want to talk about is that one where, Melody announced her pregnancy to her then spouse, Hotel. And, I could see the strain on her face and I could see the the shit eaten guilty smirk sneer on his. Now the receipts hit different when it's hindsight. And I just want to share this clip and I'm going to compare another clip with Tisha. Fast forward to this past season where she took a pregnancy test and then that blew up in her face with her husband, Marho, because of course he got fixed and automatically one would think, okay, well, I can't produce fertile, soldiers to impregnate my wife. So what's the next default explanation is, did you step out on me? Whose possible, excuse me, child is this, right? So there was a lot of parallels between Mel and Tisha where it just seems to me, now this is just a sinister take I look at because when you're dealing with mental illness and dysfunction and uh the gang stalking and gaslighting and things like that with narcissists, and you're able to escape their web. That's all the flying monkeys and their supporters and their enablers. Because Tisha and Marho are big enablers of Hotel, huge enablers, and they turn their head to what they don't want to address, and then the things that edify their own agenda that Martell does or says, they support it and they acknowledge it and they, give him dap on. And, that bros before hoes type of thing, even among married men, is really demented. And I just see a lot of where Tisha tried to kind of remix even the most delicate of dysfunctional things, the most difficult space of my marriage is in shambles and we're expecting a child, a precious life I am now carrying possibly, you know, and I have to make this huge decision on if I even want to be in this relationship anymore, in this marriage anymore. On top of now, we got a bond in the oven, right? So check this first clip out with Mel giving the news that she could possibly be pregnant. And then the next one will be of Tisha and Marho arguing over the fact that she's so flabbergasted and astounded that the first thought in her husband's mind would be that she cheated on him, being that she could possibly be pregnant and he has already had a vasectomy done. So let me go ahead and share my screen and we're going to get to this little clip here right here. Okay, let's go. And see, this is where I'm really disturbed here, where, he says, Marho, he says this baby could possibly bring us closer together. See, this right there. And I believe at this time he knew even then that coleslaw, his side dish, could possibly also be pregnant. Okay, or was already pregnant because I believe the side dishes baby is a little bit older than Sugar Mama. I might have that backward. I could be wrong. So charge it to my head and not my heart. But I know that his side baby is about a year apart from his daughter with male Sugar Mama. So this is disturbing in many ways because A, children are not responsible for fixing adult issues unborn or after they get here, after we bring them to this world. Children should never be a tool or a vice or any type of manipulation method to cling on desperately to your spouse after you have already defiled the vows of marriage and broken the commitment you made to your spouse with someone else and introduced a third party into your relationship. Okay. So let's go with that. All right. So here we have it, folks. She's clearly bothered, deeply disturbed, and very upset because she has a lot to process and unpack with this new little bundle of joy coming. Now let's go back on over around here to Marho and Tisha. They're gonna be arguing about the fact that Tisha could possibly be pregnant, okay, in her early to mid 40s, after her husband has already been snipped and fixed. Now we all know why he got snipped and fixed, so he could creep with the sneaker link and do, when the cat's away, the mouse shall play. Continue that. And I'm a parallel Marho and Hotel as well because I think there's some really sick, twisted type of demented jealousy going on too that Marho had for Hotel in this whole setup with their marriages and things of that nature. We're gonna get to that after the clip though. Check this one out here. This is Marho and his wife arguing. Let me get back to this ad here. Sorry, y'all. Here we go. And see, that's where I would have already lit his ass up like 4th of July when way back there, when all that stuff started coming out with a picture of his big broad back laid up in somebody's bed, and he lied on Chris Fletcher and said he was with a friend, and the friend was Chris Fletcher, and Chris Fletcher already dispelled that myth and busted his spot, blew up his spot, and said no, we was only together for about an hour or so at that day, and that was that. And he went on and did what he had to do and left Marho wherever the hell he was. Okay, and then that picture was leaked of him shirtless, laid up in the bed, sleep, or whatever he would do. Okay, now the ride or die chick, that's dead. That went out in the 90s with the prison bay and all of that stuff. As far as I understand it, from where I come from in the hood up to no good, if you got any type of gangster about you, you're not gonna bail no ninja out of jail, and you're not gonna be rolling through that sentence with him, putting money on his books and all that, especially if you know he's a serial dumbass. All right. Now, other situations around that, there's other, dynamics to why people ride it out, ride or die like they do for these dusty, no good, lying, manipulative jackasses that they make their choose for husbands. Okay. Tisha is just a dingbat, in my opinion, because there's no way that I would sit with my hands folded and not utter a peep if I keep hearing things, especially after I done found somebody's booty shot in your phone, which you liking, hearting, uh, responding to another woman's booty pictures. Okay, so let's go. This is, another. I'm sorry. I just, if the only thing you want is for your wife to believe in you, then why do you keep having all these pro- proclivitous things popping out, and you messy, you messy, you sloppy, and you can't even gaslight and manipulate correctly without getting caught. From what I understand, I've never been there, but I know Huntsville, from what they say, is a very small town. And, the radius of whatever little next state over the tri state area down there in that area, Georgia, and so forth, it's like, why are you shitting where you would lay your head? It's easy to find things now with unfaithful and marriages, and it's easy to get caught now. That's what I don't understand. That's why I say, in my opinion, Tisha is purposely, willfully ignorant, and she is more vested in the long term marriage she has, the amount of years she's been married versus the happiness and success and health of her damn marriage. This is why I say she has single white female syndrome, in my opinion, because it's like she's trying to remix and rewrite the narrative of what Melody was actually naturally going through in real time. You know, it wasn't staged, right? It wasn't where they sat and practiced in the green room before lights, camera, action on reunion, and they had cue cards they studied up until they decided they wanted to shoot a certain scene or whatever, because it just was natural. This was what's really going on in my life. I done busted my husband's spot up, caught the damn side chick red-handed, calling my phone, harassing me, and I'm ready to call it curtains on this shit here. Now I done found out I'm pregnant. So has he done knocked me up on purpose to try to keep me bound to him some kind of way through our children? Or is this a stall tactic to try to see if he want to make up his mind to do right and get the help that we need to fix our family and fix our marriage so we can continue what we were doing, building dynasties, making boss moves and counting M's and stuff? I don't know if y'all see the parallel that I'm trying to point out here. I hope it's making sense because Tisha just is seems to have no identity, and it's been said many times before, many different bloggers and people when we talk about this, I see it so very clearly. Tisha is totally codependent on Marco for her identity and who she is and how she defines herself as an individual. Because, like I said, ever since Melody stepped up and said, "Hey, friend, you know, let me get you hooked up with some of my connects, and I could kind of give you a little outline of how we got started and took off like a rocket, and people started seeing me and my spouse as the dream team. So if we share some of our little trade secrets with you, that'll kind of get your little feet wet, help you get out there moving and shaking, and then you can take it and parlay it into however you like, and then go from there. And you and your husband can then step up back up on the scene together. And what better way to do that than as a team, right? Tell the boss, you know, jump off a cliff and be your own boss. Ease your way into it. And this is how we did it. So I'm going to help you out. Looking out. See? And this is another reason why I don't understand why, Tisha had to use Mel as her scapegoat for telling her, look, I did everything I could. I bent over backwards for you. I was a true friend to you. I looked out. And this is the thanks I get. You laughing and kicking with the ops about what I'm going through because I won't snitch and be a dirty fence riding, hole hopping trollop and turn around and bring more misery to my life and give you the pave the way for you to discover how much of a dog your husband is. Child, you out your mind. So next, block delete, not today or any other day will I ever give you a olive branch or accept an olive branch for you because I see where your character is. A lot of women like Tisha, as we clearly have seen, if you don't agree with everything she say, and she's an emotionally based person. If she feel like it, that means it's true in her mind. I feel this way, and I feel like, and I thought that, and I thought no, that doesn't make it true. That doesn't make it factual, which is why your ass is in the hot water you're in now with your marriage. Okay, let's go. Did you see his face? Let's go back. Look at his face. Look at his face. It's like he's trying so hard to force this selective outrage of his wife could possibly have stepped out on him when this ignorant re- backwards hustling lawsuit collecting fool, this educated idiot has been stepping out on her for allegedly quite some time. Okay. Where there's smoke, there's fire, y'all. And usually when people have to flip the narrative and try to make it so confusing to where they don't understand their own confusion, it's a fly in the buttermilk. And put it like that. Let's go. Let's go. Here come old busybody, as Mel would say, Maurice Luther King. And see, this is the part that I don't get. This is why I say all this whole thing is fugaga, because what other way would you get pregnant other than you have two people who are able to, have intercourse and have the ability to conceive? You're not thinking, okay, how could I be pregnant? The first thing in my mind would be my husband had a vasectomy, so how else can I get pregnant? You thinking only about the fact that you're sick? That's the only thing that you're focused in on? Same thing where Melody said I've been feeling has stomach issues. Y'all see the parallel? You see the weird twisted type of misery type s energy this is giving with how Tisha is trying to kind of like emulate Mel's storyline, and Mel's storyline was originally naturally what happened. And this is like Tisha is forcing the same narrative, only with the difference is that her husband had a vasectomy, and her explanation still doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Because any woman that knows it takes intercourse, a fertile egg, and a healthy spermatoa to connect and create gestation and make a child. It takes 9.5 months, give or take, for that child to grow to full term for birth. But she's not thinking about her husband's vasectomy. She's only thinking about the fact that she's sick. You can't be that slow. You can't be that dense. You can't be that dizzy that you're like, oh, dang, that's right. He did have a vasectomy. I mean, that's like, a big deal when a man decides to do that. Just like it's a big deal when a woman decides to have a hysterectomy, get her tubes tied, or anything like that. Okay, let's go. All right. Yeah, well, this part is sickening too. But I just wanted to kind of point that out just in case nobody mentioned it yet or thought about it yet or wanted to elaborate on it a little bit. But y'all let me know what you think. Is Tisha got single white female tendencies for male? And with Marho, with his Mr. Misogyny self, I think Marho is jealous of Hotel. I really do. I think, as we see, uh, Marceau is smitten with Melody. He hangs on to her every word. He can't take his eyes off of her. When she's not looking, he is practically consuming her with his eyes. She's a stunning, beautiful woman. She's a go getter. She's a powerhouse. She's very intelligent and she's, savvy outside the boardroom, too. She has very witty and she don't miss a damn thing when it comes to the bullshittery. Okay. And I think to a degree, with his insecure ass, Marho jealous of Martell because Martell, quote unquote, had it all with Mel. And, they used Tisha and her husband used the Holtz at the time as a come up. They didn't have shit when they came on the show. Melody and Martell held them down like four flat tires. Okay. And I think there was a little bit of ego, jealousy there, in my opinion. And I think that Marho influenced Hotel to go ahead and cheat and join the little frat boy club of cheatery so that their marriage would fall apart in the whole household. And then he could try to sneak and backdoor Melanie. That's what I think. I still believe it. I don't care how many times they deny it, dance around it, or whatever. Both Tisha and Marho have been and always will be jealous of Melody before and after the divorce. So that's pretty much it, all I wanted to share for right now. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know. Share the video, like the video, so I can get back up here and blow the dust off this here channel. We can continue to heal the nation, evaluate this here stuff, and see what we can mix up and come together so we can have these difficult discussions and try to bridge that gap and create safe spaces to where we can hopefully help avoid any of this in our youth, young married couples coming up, established couples who might be able to unravel some of the dysfunction and save the Black family. All right. So thank you again for tuning in. Thank you again for being you. Remember to be good to yourself, take care of each other. Always put your family first. Figure yourself out first before you try to emulate and copycat and copy off somebody else's paper. Figure it out first. Think it all the way through first, teacher honey, before you to think that you could hop up and fill Melody's stilettos with the red bottoms. Okay, so I'm out for now. Queen Common Sense. See you on the flip side. One love. Be safe. Hotep. Namaste.